Okay, I'm back. Does this any sound? Sorry about that. I think I might have found a setting where I have to select my camera. Check, check, check. I see something lighting up some audio on my lower part of the screen. Darn, I had such a good opening. I was just telling you that usually live streams are pretty bleak for me. Bleak, the word of the day. Hi. So I was just gonna kind of update a few. Oh, good. All right. Hi, Kenny. I was just let me know what's going on, you guys. I was just gonna update that. Well, first I gotta explain this shirt. My best friend Joel got it for me, and we went out last night and played pinball and had some pizza, and we had a good time. But he bought me this. He always buys me the weirdest things. Funny, hilarious. I actually love this shirt. It's pretty great. It's got pretty good texture. Some of these are real flimsy and kind of mushy feeling, but this is a pretty firm feeling shirt. It's got tapes all over it. I'm known for a guy that hoards cassette tapes. So yeah, usually live streams are pretty bleak, but I thought I would make an attempt. I've got a little bit of news. I'm moving my guitar studio out of my house to Eastern Iowa Arts Academy, where I'll be teaching Monday through Thursday, 3 till 8 p.m. roughly. And I'm kind of excited about it, but I'm also kind of sad to leave this room because it's really comfortable in here and I've got my guitars and everything. So it's like an old school room, an old elementary school. So I'm to going back to school. It's going to be a big switch, but it's kind of like less traffic in the house and maybe just I can reach new students and so forth. Hey, Brian. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. Brian is one of my in-person students, and he's really come a long ways. He's trying to write some riffs, and he's doing some drop D tuning, and he was in a snowmobile accident, so he's writing kind of a dark, serious riff based on that experience. So that's good that he was inspired. Yeah, I'll do videos from the house here, Kenny, which I really enjoy doing. So that won't change. I use this mini Mac here, and I got this Zoom Q2N camera, so I can just sit here and, you know, yeah, I'll still, oh, what a fun thing. So anyway, these are all my guitar books up here. I kind of hoard them, and they just sit up there. But sometimes I grab one. Sometimes the perfect book is sitting there. But I did buy some new books. My guitar teacher, Serge, recommended this shred guitar by Greg Harrison. This is MI, Musicians Institute. That's where my guitar teacher went. And he's really concerned about pick direction. My guitar teacher's name is Serge, and he said he was like me, just a regular guitar player, like a rock and blues guitar player, where you just kind of do down up picking and just kind of do what you can. You have to really be concerned about pick direction if you're going to elevate your kind of shredding or kind of high performance guitar playing. And I do get kind of jealous when I see younger players just kind of fluidly rip through a pentatonic scale or a blues scale, and they have this kind of acceleration or velocity that I just cannot get. And so that's why I'm taking lessons. So I'm going to probably feature a few exercises from this. It talks about practice techniques, warm ups, speed development, 3 note per string scales, sweep picking, economy picking, hybrid picking, string skipping, tapping, extended arpeggios, wide stretch licks, standard notation, and tablature. So we'll be doing a little bit out of this, I'll try to demonstrate as I get started. I did start playing it, and I was doing pretty good, and then it started getting kind of hard. All right, that's coming up. One of my good buddies, Scott, bought me this book. He said this really opened up some things for him. Yeah, pick direction's a big thing, Brian. It's a lot of us old timers, we just kind of like, we just kind of go at it the best we can. So, you know, I'm uh, I'm kind of excited to learn some new stuff. Well, yeah, Scott said this music theory, it's Hal Leonard guitar method, audio access included, everything you ever wanted to know but were afraid to ask, by Tom Kolb. Tom Kolb is a very respected music teacher, guitar teacher. So Scott, who bought this book for me, said this was like really big deal for him because it just opened up. He's an engineer, and he probably thinks, maybe in a certain way, he wants to know why things work, which is good, really good. But sometimes that impedes his ability to just grab a lick and start playing. He's got to think it out. And sometimes that slows him down a little bit. So Scott said this is really helping him. So I'm going to work through this a little bit online. We'll see how far we get. If it's, hopefully, it's something I can uh, use for the channel or recommend. But as far as, I thought I would just mention, music theory kind of confirms what my ears were telling me. So it's not like, rules that you must do this, must do that. You can really break those rules anytime you want, but sometimes it will explain the best way to maybe compose or create or break something down. It kind of shows you the form of things. That's my interpretation. As far as music theory, I took one class, but I dropped it in high school because I was intimidated. I kind of had an inferiority complex, even though I could play and I could play, major, minor. I could figure out chord progressions, but I couldn't read music very well. So, and the kids in band and orchestra, they were kind of a tight clique, and I was on the outside. I was like a rocker, wanting to be, and I just didn't feel like I fit in with the clique. And so I did drop the class out. But the first thing they said, I remember one thing, we started with the major scale and did the intervals, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I'm like, okay. And then I think I attended 2 sessions, and then it seemed to be going ahead quickly from there. I'm like, whoa, I don't know what's happening. So I dropped it. But turns out I kind of have it built in my head how songs work just from working out by ear, like David Bowie songs. That's why I did all those acoustic David Bowie songs. So anyway, over the years, I have cobbled together enough music theory, which really is fun. But the thing that's funny about that is people argue about music theory very viciously online about, misinterpretations, and boy, they go at it. And I don't really want any part of that, but why are we fighting about music theory? That seems really ridiculous. So we'll talk about more music theory coming up. And let me show you another book I got, Country Rock. These are good. The guitar play along, Hal Leonard. They usually have a CD. The CD recording is pretty good. 8 songs with tab and sound alike tracks. Unfortunately, this does not have the CD. All right, let me just tell you the songs. It's Driving My Life Away by Eddie Rabbitt. I don't care about that song. It's just chords, ain't it? But yeah, there's nothing in here, but I'll check it out. That song always annoyed me. And then there's Eastbound and Down. Whoa, Jerry Reed, Smokey and the Bandit. All right. A lot of chords here. Let's see if we got the soloing. Yeah. Oh, wicked, wicked soloing. So I might, I used to play this song live, but again, I figured it out by ear, fairly close, not perfect. When you think you know a song and then you see the music, it's pretty humbling. So I might, not seeing, looks like there should be harmony guitar solos. They're just a single line. Where's the harmony? All right, they're missing something here. All right. And then I got Guitars Cadillacs by Dwight Yoakam. I've played that song live. I'd say that's a good song. If I could offer my judgment, that one I played by ear, and there's fiddle solos. I wonder if they accounted for that. Well, yeah, there's some really good, Pete Anderson licks in there. Then we got Here's a Quarter, called Someone Who Cares by Travis Tritt. I don't care about that song too much, but I might actually mess with it. 3/4 time, cool. There's a little bit of a solo in there. I might work on that. Mercury Blues by K.C. Douglas and Robert Gettings. That's kind of a blues song. I know it was redone as a country tune or something. I might mess with that. I've played it live more. I don't know whose version we were doing. One More Last Chance. That's a Vince Gill and Gary Nicholson song. Vince Gill, good player. Yeah, you're right, Brian. Oh yeah, Eastbound and Down. One More Last Chance. Vince Gill's cool. Yeah, I've played a few of his songs, just sort of grab what I can. And okay, here's one called Mountain Music. That's by the band Alabama by Randy Owen. I don't really love that song, but it's in the key of A, so I like that. It's A to D. If you've taken lessons with me, I always make you play the A chord, the D chord, and repeat. And people probably think I'm losing my mind, but no. There it is right there. A to D, whole bunch, and then it goes to E, and then some simple licks. Then it's got the big solo. Man, this song kind of annoys me, but it's okay. Just okay. But the real reason I bought the book was it's got The Only Daddy That Will Walk the Line, words and music by Ivy J. Bryant. It's known as a Waylon Jennings song. Oh, yeah. Vince Gill plays with the Eagles, man. That's a good gig if you can get it with Joe Walsh, huh? So that's cool. We were just talking about Joe Walsh last night. That guy can play, man. He's amazing. So yeah, only Waylon Jennings. One good thing you can say about him is he played bass with Buddy Holly. Yes, Brian's into it. So yeah, I'm kind of leery about country music, but I'm also kind of pretty hardcore country at times, but I don't really follow the real glossy, whiny stuff. I like the more kind of gritty outlaw, kind of punchy, simple stuff that's fun to play and kind of has a good beat and all that. But anyway, Waylon, he's kind of a cool guy, Waylon was just kind of a big, mean looking, kind of looks like a hippie. He was, people think of rock and rollers as drug crazed maniacs. Well, Waylon Jennings was a drug crazed maniac. He snorted mountains of cocaine and did millions of amphetamines and who knows what else. And he was also, not to rip on him, but he was, country music guys are not goody goody, squeaky clean uh, angels. Let's not kid ourselves. But anyway, he played that cool black Telecaster with the trim. Yeah, Waylon just has that kind of resonant voice. He doesn't, he's not a whiny, twinkly, nasal. I like any country really, but I don't mean to rip on anything, but I have experienced a lot of country music playing it live, and it was really not my culture. yet I did enjoy the guitar part. Uh, I was really young when I got into country. I did it just to be weird, just to join a band and play, and be way out of my element. I mean, it's kind of like the equivalent of joining the French Foreign Legion, really. But I had watched Hee Haw, so I felt equipped. And it actually did pay off. So I do keep that hee haw mentality. It's fun stuff. Yeah, Brian. Right on, Kenny. Yeah, he's just got that cool voice. So this, it's got that riff, dum, 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 but it's in E flat, but because he tuned down, it's got that solo that's real simple, but great, man. So I'll kind of break that down. I have played the song. So these are good. If you ever see these guitar play along books, I got it at half price books for $5.39. No CD, bummer. But yeah, he's just got a certain style. Waylon did. We were in Nashville at RCA Studio B. That's where they recorded a lot of that stuff, and kind of fun. Yeah, but yeah, interesting, man. So we'll be doing some of that stuff there. My guitar teacher's name is Serge. So I made a book on Serge's stuff. And let's see, what's he given me recently? Oh, this Far Beyond the Sun final. Oh, yeah, we're doing online lessons. He had to write this riff out like 5 times. It's just this wicked descending thing. I might show that sometime. That's what I'm working on. He gave me Happy Birthday using these really thick jazz type voicings. He gave me this Bach piece. It's in German. The guy's crazy, man. And so I'm sight reading this. I'm getting through the first page. It changes keys. It's humbling. There's like about 5 pages like that. It just keeps changing keys. And I've only done the first page. Okay. Then we're doing like we're doing like triads, only we bring in a fifth. Anyway, I can't describe it, but I get kind of lost. When we do the lesson, I go, I take a lot of notes. And then when the lesson's over, I'm like, I'll work on that later. I go look at it. And I go, oh, I'm not sure what to do. But yes, Serge gives me a lot of stuff to work on. And it's actually helping a lot. What else is going on, man? I got lots going on. Oh, yeah, he recommended this book, The Study of Counterpoint. Yeah, the Bach was nuts. This is the guy that taught Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach, J.S. Bach, was taught by this guy whose last name is F-U-X. That's pretty cool. That could be a metal band. But yeah, it's a Counterpoint, and I've only got the intro. Unfortunately, I'm reading about 6 books at a time right now. And I got to get to that because Serge will ask me about it, and I'm like, I can't keep up, man. All right. I got another book I'm working on. Christmas Fake Book. More than 150 songs. And one song I really like is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Maybe I'll grab my guitar and see if I can just play some of those chords. When I first learned this, it just seemed impossible, but let's just see if I can strum. That's the intro. Not too hard. That's like A minor, F sharp diminished, D minor, E7, a 4-chord cycle. That's our intro, repeats. And then the verse, let's see if I can just do a little bit of the verse. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. Those chords seem kind of difficult when I first figured this out. I'm like, because there's a B7 flat 9. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Actually, not too hard. There's F sharp diminished. It's not that hard. What's wrong with me? So there's 6 verses. So I could maybe break that down if I get around to it. So yeah, man. I know I kind of go off on these tangents on my videos. I get into some weird stuff. Oh, they did? Orchestra Iowa played Grinch last night with Iowa Women's Jazz. Yeah. So, like, if you played that with a little momentum, it'd be like whoa. Gosh, I can't read. Yeah, man. So the one weird chord is the B7 flat 9. So these are things that we can with the power of music theory, we can solve those equations. So what's a ninth? If you know, well, to figure that out, you'd play a B major scale like this. That's where I would start. And then, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. Flat that 9. There it is. So it's a B7 flat 9. I believe that's what it was. Yep. So here's B7. We just got to get that flatted 9. And it does have like a dreadful quality. That literally knocks me out, man. That's weird. But in the right place, a weird chord makes you feel something. So that's why getting into chords is really, really important. And I made a video jabbering about that. And people call me out for talking too much. But I sit and think about music all day. I practice music all day. I teach music all day. What am I going to talk about? Music. And that's cool, man. So, yeah, the emotions that a chord can, it's almost like it pushes a button that makes you feel something. So that B7 flat 9. Weird. So if I said to a student, today we're going to learn the B7 flat 9, here you go. And the student's like, hey, man, your lessons suck. I'm like, maybe. I'm not going to say that's impossible, but it could be a chance that you don't understand the context of that chord. So in the right context, it is powerful. So let me do that progression again. Let me find a guitar that's more in tune. The J100. Here we go. So the verse. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. So yeah, chords are super important. When I do a private lesson, usually we start with chords. And as you know, I'm going to pull out my chord book just for a second. Not trying to sell it right now, but that's where we start at our private lesson. We just review and we try to get you into, I'm looking for a tuner. There. We try to get your ears kind of in that zone of sound. Like it's almost like a world. I'm trying to get you into the world of sound. It's really cold in this room. There's no insulation, so the guitars go sharp. So with a chord, I try to get you to get you conditioned to hearing a chord, the notes of the chord. So the notes of an E chord are E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E. We've got 3 E's, 2 B's, 1 G sharp. And we're looking to make sure there's no dead notes or no buzzy notes, no loud notes, no quiet notes, just a humble E chord. If you know those notes of an E chord, you can find them other places on the guitar, such as those are all notes of an E chord. Those were all E, G sharp, B. So to make an E major chord, that's the root, third, fifth, which sounds like a real basic piano, like boogie woogie. So to my students that are writing songs, you kind of got to know that. If you're like, hey man, I wrote a riff and it's all like, it could be cool, but if you don't know that, it's like you're building something. It's like you're missing some tools in your toolbox. I don't know. Nothing, not to say that in a mean way, but I'm just trying to speed it up. So like, hey man, let's learn the root, third, fifth, and then you can decide if you want to flat the third. Here's major. Here's minor. Because we flatted the third interval. G sharp is the third. Yeah, you got to know it. Right on, Brian. There's major. Major is kind of like, minor is like, oh, because you flatted the third. Here's the major third at the 4th fret. Flat the third. That's super powerful. That's like a tool that you can use anytime. So if we, major is like bright, hopeful, uplifting, sunny. Minor is dark, kind of like danger, sort of menacing, or maybe, I don't know, depressing. It's just a different color of sound. So just by flatting the third. So an E minor has got that dark quality, which instantly, kind of triggers something. It triggers a feeling. So if I did that minor chord as like that arpeggio, well, let's do the riff. Might remind us of like a menacing rockabilly riff or a surf riff, like versus the happy. It sounds like kind of goofy, do 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 do, happy, and then all of a sudden minor, it sounds like a shark or something. It sounds a lot more kind of sleek and cuts through the water. It just kind of like more sneaky. It's cool. It's just composing, you know. So if I played that minor like I did the major, I'd go. Oops, I'm really blowing it. So it really sounds kind of neat. I love the minor. Everybody, but you got to contrast the major with the minor. I'll never forget a student that, you know, I really meet a lot of interesting students, and sometimes they're kind of socially awkward, or they have just a weird, like me, they have kind of a strange way of, kind of a prickly personality, or they're just like, it's hard to get to penetrate their preconceived notions, which is fine, you know, but yeah, I got to help them get to where they understand this stuff. But this guy, he said, I really like the minor sound, man. I'm like, yeah, I know. And so he wrote a song that was all minor. So it's like, or something. It was just like, yeah, I know. I mean, not to be condescending, but you got to contrast the minor with like a major. Say, like, here's A minor. Listen to how this works: A minor to E major. If that was A minor to E major. If you did A minor to E minor, it's kind of washed out. It could work. But the E major is more kind of powerful. Here's an example. How about Angie? Thank you. Angie. If you did Angie, it just sounds weird. So you got to have a major to balance out the minor. So yeah, if you want to practice that, just try A minor to or E major to A minor. Very, very simple. So, you know, I try not to, I'm fascinated by those two chords. So, you know, that's why I like teaching guitar with beginners or intermediate or whatever level. I'm still interested in like the step one basic, whatever. But yeah, man, you could, if you wanted to expand that, you could, you know, what am I doing? A minor, E7, A minor, E7, A minor, E7, A minor. Do it again. That was A minor to E major, or E7. Thanks for that nice compliment. In Desire 606. That's nice of you. But yeah, I just want to turn people on to this. So that's kind of how I became a guitar teacher. I tell the story too much, but like when I was in high school or junior high, I would force kids to learn guitar, and they still play to this day. We're still friends for the most part. But I'm like, hey man, you're going to be learning guitar today. And like, what? I go, sit down, man. Here it is. And I would teach them to go like, you're there, man. That's all you need. Then you're ready to rock. A minor pentatonic, or yeah, A minor pentatonic. But yeah, you know, you got to mix the majors and the minors, whatever. It's just a little theory thing or chord progression stuff. Fun, fun, fun. All right, fun stuff. My teacher, his name is Serge. I really like that guy. He's 26, and he's like a guru, man. The guy, I feel like a noob, you know, after playing guitar for like 50 years. This guy, he's 26, and he just like plays circles around me, and but he's pretty patient with me. I'm always like afraid he's gonna like, hey man, this isn't working out, dude. You're not getting it. Let's just give it a couple. Why don't you go practice for a couple years and look me up? But he's patient. He's actually a really good, you know, has a good personal style. But he said, man, if you want to play this stuff, you got to have a specific pick. I don't know if you can read. Probably can't read that. It says Yngwie Malmsteen. The signature Yngwie Malmsteen. Oh no. We got a problem. But he said you got to have one of those picks. And luckily, my good friend Don Scott had given me one just like a few weeks before. And so I'm like, well, of course, sir, I have one ready to go. And so when we're practicing, he's like, hey, man, what pick are you using? I'm like, okay, let me find it. He wants me to use that. It's a really hard pick. He says it's slightly rounded on the tip or something. I don't know. But, you know, when we hold that pick, sometimes I'll check my students. They're kind of holding it like a little weird shovel. I don't like that. Or maybe like a kind of a, I don't know, pencil. I mean, that looks kind of weird. To me, I try to get you to hold it on the side of your pointer finger. Rotate in, bring in the thumb. Try to make a little circle there. Let these fingers relax. And then the hand's going to go, you're just going to drop your arm here and you're pretty much set. Sometimes students will be kind of cranked or, you know, they're rotating their wrist or something, kind of just weird stuff. I'm like, hey, I'll try not to like obsess on that. But if you just, again, hold the pick correctly, drop your arm, you're kind of set. There's other details, but, you know, try to check yourself, see if you're twisting your wrist. We don't want any of that, or, you know, making too much of a fist. I guess sort of a loose fist is better. I always push for this, kind of put them out. But I guess the better players are making a little bit of a fist. I got to work on that. All right. I think my wife's coming home and she's going to start bossing me around in a second. But I just wanted to thank you guys for checking out my channel, or studying with me, or, you know, just being friendly. All right. I better get moving on. But thanks for stopping by. As I said, usually my live streams are very bleak. This is a pretty good little line of comments. I appreciate that. So let's do this again. And yeah, I got to get ready for my gig today out at Wild Hogs in Wolford, Iowa. I'm going to wear this crazy shirt because I like tapes, man. All right. Have a good day, friends. Thank you for stopping by. Let me know if you have any questions about guitars or playing, and I'll make a video based on I've actually built my whole teaching career based on questions that people ask. So thank you again. Please enjoy your guitar. Have a good Sunday. See ya. End stream now.